Hello ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Jim Makes a Cartoon. I'm Jim and I'm making a cartoon. Today I'm working on the animation for the most recent episode of Dictator Cat. As always, if you haven't seen that, link in the upper right corner, as well as in the video description. This is just the beginning stages of a couple of shots here. Specifically, I'm setting up and beginning the animation on the shots where Dictator Cat wakes up and imagines the world as a war-torn third world country. While we're working on that, I wanted to continue a little bit of the discussion we started last week, as several of you had a lot to say about it. Specifically, I wanted to respond to a comment from John Wooden. And please forgive me for paraphrasing, but if you want to see the full comment in context, you can check out the previous episode of Jim Makes a Cartoon. John writes, "Massive cloud processing power makes it possible to aggregate data from millions of other users to deliver a more personalized individual experience. The downside is that machines lack creativity. The best they can do is introduce random variables a certain percentage of the time. It rewards unoriginality because as a whole, we the people favor unoriginal content. The traditional means of discovery is through word of mouth, often a mouth with a big enough megaphone. For example, a radio DJ or the Saturday morning cartoons feature from Channel Frederator. They all serve up what is comfortable to draw and maintain an audience, but they all involve someone taking a creative risk by exposing their audience to that new content. And that's something which is really hard to encode into an algorithm." Now, as you can probably all tell, John is a lot smarter than I am, which is why he was able to much more concisely explain in a few sentences something that I was kind of attempting to get at in about an 8-minute long video. But anyway, yeah, he's right. Unlike old media, which was organized and distributed by people who are making those decisions, new media, by and large, is distributed by software, and this software is written to match our preferences. So it's a lot easier for those programs to serve up more of what they know we already like. That means this kind of software is going to have a lot of trouble serving up brand new original content. So if you're someone like Michael Get Off the Lawn Stu Got 70 Basso, who says, "I will generally choose to watch something original before a parody. I am always looking for something new, and there's so much unoriginal content coming out of Hollywood that when online, I try to keep it new and fresh." It becomes a lot harder to discover that content yourself. In fact, in a kind of coincidental twist, very shortly after I finished making last week's video, Frederator actually showcased an animator named Sif from Hikarian Animations, who creates wholly original story-based videos. I'm going to be posting a link to that channel in the same place as before. If you like fairy tales and adorable animals and fantasy elements and post-apocalyptic elements in the stories you consume, you're really going to like the stuff that Hikarian puts together. You can tell there's a lot of love that goes into this series. Sif's storytelling and animation and art style remind me of something almost in between Disney and fantasy anime. So yeah, it made me kind of feel a little bit silly that right after I created a video kind of complaining about how there isn't enough original stuff out there, Frederator goes ahead and showcases something that is really original and high quality. But that goes back to John's original point that word of mouth is still an incredibly important way to share your ideas and your stories and your other content. Because if we solely rely on the software to make those decisions for us, then all we're ever going to know about are the parodies and stuff we've seen over and over and over again. And we'll never get a chance to see cool things like Hikarian Animations or a lot of the other really cool stuff out there. But since we're talking about original content and word of mouth sharing, what are some of your favorite original animators out there, or even any other YouTube shows? Let's share some links with each other in the comments section. I'd be really interested to find out what else is out there. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thanks again for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, please do like your mom told you and share. I will see all of you wonderful people next Friday.
Bye.